This is Bryson Fowler on Boss Talks on the Rooftop, Season 9. And today we have the greatest honor of being in the illustrious Café Nubia. And my guest today is the sole proprietor of this establishment, Mr. KC Nubia. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
You like that?
Hey, lovely.
You like
lovely,
that?
lovely,
You
lovely,
like
lovely,
that?
lovely. Great introduction, man. Glad to be here.
Man,
Glad to
be
have
here.
you guys here with me.
Man, I
You know,
appreciate that, brother.
this is a beautiful, beautiful time to have a good brother like you come out and fellowship with me. You know,
Brother like me.
exactly.
No, brother like you.
From me, you know
So,
what it is.
so we gonna cut light with our kingpin torch, kingpin cutter, and we're gonna get into your journey into becoming a club restaurant owner, because you're a man of multifacets, right? And a lot of times we forsake what we're doing as just us trying to enter the grind, but we don't realize we're part of our greatest legacy.
Absolutely.
Right. So I wanted to give you flowers on camera because, man, you're doing great things, and I want everybody else to know about the great things that you're doing. So
I appreciate that. And before we get into all that, can we light these cigars up, man?
yeah,
Because
man, have at it.
I wanna feel the powerful flavor of this Cohiba
Yeah,
that
man.
you just gifted me.
Hey, man.
You know, I mean, there's a man who comes bringing gifts and flowers and all that.
Man, you can't be empty-handed when you're a guest in someone else's house. I take it as a sign of disrespect, you know.
So, absolutely.
And you're such a gracious host. So we're gonna light it with our Kingpin Luxury torch. You can pick those up at kingpinluxury.com. It's right there after you dip your stick. Tell me why you dip your stick.
Flavor, enhance the flavor. It also opens up the palate for me to fully absorb the flavor as well. So if I had natural organic honey, I'll use honey for that.
Oh,
But
wow.
since I don't have honey, I'll use a fine scotch.
Oh, I
Right
like
now
that.
I'm doing, Glenfiddich.
Right.
Right. So this is how we do it at Cafe Nubia. You know, we try to, follow the right process and the right protocol when it comes to indulgences, whether it's cigars or scotch or wine or even just food. You know.
My brother, you sound like a true professional. You sound like smoked a few sticks in your lifetime here before. For me, I'm not really big on dipping my sticks in my whiskey. I don't know why, it just doesn't resonate with me. I like to drink, sip, smoke, and that's just me. But I see a lot of people that dip their sticks, and I'm like, why do you do it?
Right. I do for that reason. But I traveled to Cuba one time a few years ago, and had the privilege of going to one of the largest tobacco plantation in the world. And I sat there and got tutored on the fine way of enjoying a Cuban cigar. So, and that's where I learned about the honey. But then I've always known about the scotch. But that's neither here nor there. We enjoy it however way we choose.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of cigars.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for coming out. We out here at Cafe Nubia, and I just want to acknowledge my partner, James, the real OGB.
Shout out to James.
Shout out to James. He can't make it, but I'm here, and it's been an incredible journey. Like one of your partners said, we've been out here for a year and a half.
Right.
One of the few folks who've sustained this long at this location, and also one of the few that have really brought something different to the culinary scene in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And we take pride in it. I mean, I bet you ain't never heard of no Mediterranean African fusion before.
No.
I ain't never heard of it either.
No.
Just
But
keeping
see,
it real.
that comes with you being well traveled. You go from Cuba you're originally, what part of Africa you from?
Nigeria. I'm a
Nigeria.
Niger boy.
See, I can't even try to announce it because I don't want to disrespect.
No. That's the slang. It's Niger boy. You know, that's how we know each other.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I'm from Nigeria and lived here for nearly 30 years. And you know, I think I've had the privilege of having the best of both worlds. You know, I've traveled around the world and throughout my entire journey, I've always been a very curious person who would always ask, why this or why not that? You know what I'm saying? And you know, when we began to think about what restaurant concept, I said, why not Mediterranean African fusion? For a couple of reasons. I mean, the Mediterranean is hot now. You know, we black folks, we vacation in the Mediterranean where everybody want to go to Dubai, everybody want to go to Turkey.
Right.
Everybody want to go to Santorini and go hang out at the beach in Greece. You know,
Right.
my family just came back from Greece, actually, literally last week.
Oh, wow.
You know, on a
Wow.
summer vacation. So we are already, you know, embellishing in their culture. And quite frankly, when you think about Africa, the Mediterranean really starts in North Africa, in Morocco, Egypt, Libya.
Right.
So, you know, it's something that we feel like there's some familiarity, and there's something we can tap into that familiarity. So that's really why. But on the other end too, it's just a business. It was a business strategic move, right? I come from a corporate background, and as an executive in some of the largest media marketing agencies, one of the first things that I knew was that we had to differentiate ourselves and come up with something totally different, totally unique in order to stand out in a very highly saturated market.
Right. And see, I know a little bit about you. You cut your teeth out of Chicago. So, you know, I'm not gonna give it all out there, but I know you cut your teeth in Chicago. One of the biggest food festivals out there in the United States. And so just sitting here talking to you, smoking a cigar, and listening to you go back and forth about your experiences with the different foods, I can only surmise that was one of the things that influenced you to get into the restaurateur business.
You know, you're totally right. Well, I've had the business plan for this concept for nearly 20 years, all the way back to when I was in Chicago. But I just felt like Chicago wasn't ready. Chicago wasn't ready for the African movement. It wasn't ready for the African fusion concept. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, fast forward now, you know, everybody understands. Everybody's vacationing in Africa. Everybody's going back home. Folks are going buying citizenships in Africa, buying lands and investments, and
Right.
and we're importing the music. Afrobeats is now a staple. You know, ask anybody about jollof rice, they've either eaten it or they know about it. You know,
Exactly.
so the time is ripe and the time is right. Not just right, but it's also right.
Yeah.
For us to begin
Right
to
now.
to dabble into these different areas of business ventures, whether it is in the culinary world or in tourism, right? That's a
Right.
big boom area too, right? Or
Absolutely.
in any other aspects of investments, right? But yeah, I come from Chicago, and this vision had always been there, but it wasn't right for Chicago at the time. But my true background though comes from my family. I grew up in a hospitality family. My family owned hotels and resorts around Nigeria.
Wow.
And in those hotels and resorts, there've always been restaurants and clubs, right, and lounges. So this is not an unfamiliar environment.
Right.
As a kid, I'll get out of elementary school and come get picked up from school, and I'll be brought to my mom's office at the hotel. And I'm sitting in the hallway or at the lobby or at the lounge doing my homework.
Right.
While a gentleman like you could be smoking a cigar and drinking a cognac and having a business conversation. So it's an environment that is very familiar to me, but it's my first time actually going off on my own doing it.
Man, that's powerful. So, with you being raised in hospitality, so you have a true heart for being a servant leader, and because it's seen within your staff and how they're very attentive uh, to the patrons here of this establishment, which is the testament to why you survived more than a year where others have failed. What is that like with instilling that type of leadership in your own business?
Right. It's you said it right. I call myself the chief servant in charge, right? And I don't have a boss ego. I never had, and maybe that's because I come from I come from a corporate background, and you know how it is in corporate background. You know, like it's a very flat organization, so folks, anybody has access to your office. Everybody call you by first name. You're just another guy who just happen to have more authority than others, right?
Right.
So in my business, I don't see myself as any one special. Uh, those who know me know that this is where I stand. Me and my partner, we always stand there. They call it the owner's corner now, but it wasn't designed to be the owner's corner. It's just the place right by the bar, so we can observe what's happening at the bar, and right by the kitchen entrance, so that we can also observe what's coming in and out of the kitchen. I'm always particular about certain things, presentation. Sometimes I would stop a server, I'm like, hey, take that back, the presentation is not quite right.
Right.
Do you not see it? Do you not see it? This is not the way it's supposed to be. So every moment is a learning opportunity,
Absolutely.
right? So, and then when we're not very busy and I'm here, I take the time to shake hands and get to meet my patrons,
Right.
connect with them, get to know who they are, get to know their journeys and their stories, and also elicit feedback from them on how we can be better.
Right.
So I'm very passionate about the idea of continuous growth and improvement. And my team, they hear me talk about it all the time. We might have so many successes and so many great weekends and so many great reviews, but I'm just stuck on that one bad review. I'm like, but yeah, we did great. I mean, kudos to everybody, but let's talk about that issue.
It's always that 1% that just
But that's
stick in your
but
side,
that's
right?
the perfectionist in me, right? It doesn't really. I don't lose sleep about the 1%, but I think those 1% feedbacks are incredibly important in order for you to excel.
Right.
You understand? Because otherwise, we might just bask in the compliment and the flattery of our success, and then we lose sight of those little areas of detail that we need to improve upon.
So you're a details guy.
I've been told that.
See, see,
What did I do? What was I doing when you walked in here? Right? Setting up.
You were setting up stuff. And like, we walked in, he's sweeping. He's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, relax. We're not even going to see the floor. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But it's those type of habits, which are good habits, that keep you sustainable over time, right? Because you're paying attention and it matters. So I applaud you on that.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Now, when you say like you make time for each patron, I witnessed that, and you didn't know me from a can of paint. You didn't know me from Adam, and you sat down. You took time. You actually sat down and smoked with me, whether you had the time or not. but you made the time, and I can appreciate anybody that makes time for me. Like I always pay attention to, and I'm like, okay, like that's something that I can learn from or I can grasp. You said something very important about being in strategies, right? So in my mind, you're a strategist, and we've talked a little bit about your corporate background, where you're overseeing strategies to help the people develop.
Right.
What got you into that aspect of the corporate background?
It's 23 years in the making. Okay, so I had my bachelor's in applied computer science and industrial engineering. So I'm a techie
Right.
from that standpoint.
Usually techies aren't friendly and don't like people, so
Well, guess
you're
what?
debunking the whole,
All right, you
whole
know what they used
system.
to call me in college, but they used to call me the funky nerd, right? Right, you know why? Because, I was very smart, right? But at the same time, I partied a lot. Like, I paid my way through college
Right.
promoting parties,
Oh, okay.
throwing parties.
See, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would go straight from a party venue that shuts down at 2 a.m. and go straight to the library and stay there till 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. That was me. So, I've always gone against the tides, and I've always gone against the grain. And but throughout my career, starting off in a very highly technical field, and eventually, transitioning into more data-centric fields, talking about going into data science, decision science, marketing science. And then when you start going to those industries, you start applying strategies like, well, how can you influence people's behavior? How can you influence people's decision? How can you gain people's attention? How do you measure that attention? And how do you measure the quality of your relationship and engagement with your audience and your clients and your customers and consumers? So over the years, that became my job. I became an executive vice president overseeing a large portfolio of clients in the healthcare space and the hospitality space. Managing all the data strategy and marketing science decisions. And throughout those years, I would always have this knack to do something on the side. I had a lot of side hustles, quite frankly.
I mean,
I,
not to be funny, you're African though.
we are the kings of side hustles, man. Shit.
Yeah.
If you meet an African, particularly Nigerian, who ain't got like 3 side hustles, like he just came here.
Yeah.
He just got here.
Yeah, he's just trying to work the lay of the land right now. So, but like it's a true testament to like your work ethic as well, because there are some Africans that can't do what you do, and work in a multifaceted capacity. So again, I applaud you on
Thank you.
on everything that you're doing, man. So you go in from the tech side, corporate side, to overseeing like conglomerates. I'm gonna call it that. All right. To just like full-fledged, you got real estate investments. You do stocks. You do a lot.
Venture capitalism. Yep.
So what is a venture capitalist?
Somebody who infuses cash or capital into early stage of a business and helps to take on a certain amount of risk while the business is still in the formative ages. And then, of course, when the business gets out of the formative ages, then you can embellish in your success. But also, if the business fails, you can go and cry on top quietly.
Well, damn it. Damn it.
Right.
And I asked you why. What is a venture capitalist? Because a lot of people don't know what a venture capitalist is.
Right.
It's a foreign thing. They view it as such a thing that only the white side or the Caucasian people know how to do. And what Boss Talks on the Rooftop is based on is exposing people's rooftop moments,
Right.
and their different rooftop elements. So that's why I asked you about the venture capitalist side, and I love that you went into detail about it.
Right. And and that's really how I approach every business, right? Like, Café Nubia is great, but the truth is that the vision for Café Nubia is not for me to sit here and be a restaurant operator, right? For some people, that's where the vision ends for them. Oh, I want to open up a restaurant, I want to run it, and my kid's gonna work there, my wife's gonna work there, we're gonna do it together, we're gonna come to work together and go home together and sing kumbaya. Nah, I ain't trying to do all that.
You ain't trying to do it.
Right? I'm focused on building brands and building businesses. And therefore, when I think about what we do here, I'm constantly looking at processes that are that we can replicate, right?
scaling the business.
and how we can scale the business. If you really think about it within our community, and I'm talking about the broader Black folks, right?
Right.
We don't do well when it comes to scaling in the restaurant business because there's so many facets involved, right? And so many parties and third-party players involved. So it becomes difficult to organize and scale. But
Right.
it's not difficult if you really put your mind to it. So the strategy me says, hey, and this is a conversation that my partner and I we have all the time. Me and James, we always talk about like how do we scale the business? How do we replicate the business? What is working? What is not working? How do we branch off into other brands and still enjoy some elements of economies of scale or efficiency of scale to a certain degree, right? So that's why I'm a very unique owner in this space because a lot of folks who you know who are owners don't have the sort of background that I have and they don't have the sort of critical thinking that I have and maybe that's also the reason why we this summer by the grace of God we will open up another location. It will not be a Café Nubia location. It will be another off brand, but it would be something that will complement and our services and offers here, and also allows us to grow a much wider audience.
So with number 2, well, I'm gonna call it number 2, the second restaurant, not the second Cafe Nubia.
Right.
Is it going to still have that African Mediterranean fusion,
No,
or is it going to be a completely different menu?
it's gonna be a completely different menu. It's gonna have it's totally different menu, totally different vibe. You understand? And
No, I don't.
no, what,
I don't understand.
what,
What's the vibe?
what, because
Because this here is classy,
right.
it's elegant, it exudes Black excellence, but it also exudes just excellence. Period. So is it going to be like a rough and tumble type of crowd?
Everything that we do would always have the element of Black excellence to it, but there are degrees of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For instance, I'm here now in a t-shirt and jeans, right? I still think I look fly, regardless, right? I
Right.
mean, I'm not rocking a jacket like you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But as regardless of whether we're wearing a t-shirt or a jacket, we still exude excellence, right, in the way we carry and comport ourselves. So the other restaurant has to be distinctively different from Nubia, so that there isn't any sort of cannibalization,
Right.
right? But it will be catered to a different audience. It will be catered to a more casual audience, perhaps a little bit younger audience. The vibe, the programming will be a little bit different, for that audience. It would also cater to a wider audience, wider demographic and diverse audience, as opposed to Nubia that has grown to become a Black staple in the community. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's a different concept, it's a different vibe and different experience, and it's intended to really complement what we do here.
Right.
So if you pull up here, if this is your vibe, perfect. If it ain't your vibe, that place will be your vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either way, we're going to captivate and capture more audiences and more consumers and patrons.
So
So it's a strategic play. It's an extension of us.
you don't just want this money; you want all the money.
But we done already started. When you get started, I mean, you got to look for ways to scale. Honestly, I mean, that's how I look at it. It's I want to dip from there, I want to dip from here, and I want to dip from everywhere. And the other location is not too far from here. It's literally down on Midway, and you can follow us online. Follow us on Cafe Nubia for the big announcement and all that. IG, Facebook, TikTok. But it's the whole concept is we cannot remain stagnant. In my language, there is a saying. I'm gonna say it in my language first, and I'm gonna translate it in your language, just in case you got some Igbo, viewers.
Absolutely.
And I know for everybody Kilimau, what that really means is that you don't watch the masquerade while standing at the same spot. You got to move around so you can get multiple vantage points while observing the masquerade, right?
See the whole thing.
So in business too, you just don't sit stagnant in at one location in one model.
Right.
You gotta shift, you gotta augment, you gotta expand, you gotta relocate, you gotta replicate in order to continue to grow and sustain.
Right. And see,
Sit on that for a minute. Let's
see,
take a sip.
see, I always pride myself as being the deepest one on the stage. Man, you know, hats off, man. Hats off to
I'm
you.
going deep with the African program, man. I knew.
You're pulling out African proverbs. You're pulling out different languages.
Honestly, I didn't even see that one coming. I just came out of nowhere.
I'm like, yeah. I can speak a little bit of Spanish. I got you. There you go. I pull it out. But you know, I love that, man, because like it shows the depth of who you are as a person. And then like you said something about like you're in a t-shirt and pants, and I'm in the jacket. Man, this is dressed up for me. I'm usually in cargo shorts and a Fowler Construction polo. So
Right.
this
right.
is dressed up for me. So
Right.
I gotta, you know, be dressed up enough to be relaxed.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what our brand became over time, right? People would say, "Hey, I don't want to pull up in shorts and t-shirt at Cafe Nubia. I wanna come for a special occasion. I wanna come celebrate a birthday. I wanna come celebrate my anniversary. Come on a date night. People see us as a place where you actually do look presentable to come to. In some way, it's a catch-22 in the sense that yeah, we are upscale, but we're not that formal. It's okay to pull up in some jeans, particularly in the summer, right?
Right.
So we don't want to scare away certain clientele,
Right.
but at the same time, we've naturally and organically self-selected our clientele. Right? We don't have to worry about certain elements, flooding into the space simply because the environment self-selects
Right.
the people that it wants to serve.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? And if you don't feel the connection with this, then it's not for you.
That part.
But for the most part, we've had an incredible success doing this, and also talking about scaling. Right? It's not just about open up multiple locations. It's also get into the business, the food business, right? So, we own the entire 90% of the spices that we use at Cafe Nubia,
Wow.
right? So, you can find them online, Valido Spices. You can find them at HEB, Fiesta, and Kroger, and then we're now launching our own specific Cafe Nubia spices,
Wow.
right? And then also we have a meat shop where we're going to be sourcing all of our proteins, our steak, lamb chops, and everything else, right? So that means we're circulating the money within our existing businesses, and then I'm looking forward to opening my own tequila label at some point in the near future. That way, at least I can own one alcoholic category. I can own one alcoholic product in my, alcohol catalog.
Yeah.
Right?
We're gonna push the hell out of that.
Exactly. Right?
Hey, drink this Cafe Nubia.
Yeah, right.
Get it.
So again, that's the business, right? That's the business side, and quite frankly, I do a lot of talks about business, and I mentor a lot of young entrepreneurs and even a lot of folks who are trying to dabble in this space. I teach them how to one of these things up, low cost, get funding for it, get a good strategy, get it to open in the record amount of time so the business can fund itself. It took us literally 3 months. We got into this space in December 2023, and we opened February of 2024. It took us 3 months to completely transform this space, hire the staff, do all the build out, all the construction, and we did it within a very unbelievable
Short amount of time.
short amount of time and budget.
Wow.
So now I'm teaching master classes on how to do that and replicate this sort of process, right?
Right.
So I think we need to get smarter about the business. It's not just to have a spot and you start drinking food and that's it. You got to learn how to get into other aspects of the business, merchandising, supply chain. What part of the supply chain can you be a player in?
Right.
And that's how the Chick-fil-A's and the Chipotle's and the McDonald's of the world. That's how they've amassed a lot of wealth. They give you a franchise and then make you buy the meat and produce and everything from them.
Right. Right.
Till perpetuity.
Right. All the way through it.
All the way through.
So, with your mentorship, with Cafe Nubia, how do we stay in contact with you when we want to learn something else from you? How can we be involved with you and come visit you? What are your handles on IG, Instagram, and
Fantastic. So my personal IG, my full name is Kenechi. You never asked me that, So
You told me that, but I couldn't pronounce it. I didn't want to disrespect it. So
everybody call me KC. KC.
So, yeah.
Kenechi is actually Kene and Chi. It's thank God, right? So Kene and Chi. That's where KC comes along, right? So it's a double word name. But my handle on social media is Kenechi411. That's for IG and Facebook. And for Café Nubia, it's just Café Nubia on IG and Facebook. On TikTok, it's Café-Nubia. All right. So if you want to get more information about the, what we got going on the Café Nubia, we got Wednesday, $16 for 16-ounce steak special. That's an amazing special. It's our steak and cigars special.
Yeah.
That's the day I met you, right?
Yeah. You had me a cigar.
I know, right?
And then the $16 steak.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Big ass steak, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it fills up the entire platter.
Yeah.
Right, so we got that going on Wednesdays. We got a ladies' night R&B throwback on Thursdays. We got Afro beats on Fridays with a live band. We got brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. We got a live band on Saturdays as well with a DJ that plays everything sexy, right? And then on Sundays is Amapiano Sundays. We have our champagne buffet brunch on Sundays with bottomless mimosas, y'all. So come on out, come find us. We are at 3920 Rosemead Parkway, right here, Rosemead and George Bush on the northernmost tip of Dallas. People think this is Carrollton, but it's not really Carrollton. Is actually Dallas.
Part of Dallas.
Yeah. So come fuck with us. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
That just slipped.
Yeah.
Come mess with us, okay? And then, of course, if you want to get more information about my programming or my mentorship, it's nothing formal. Just hit me on the DM, Kenechi 411. That's KENECHI 411, and you can find me on IG, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere else.
Man, beautiful. Brother, I appreciate you having us.
And man, it's a pleasure, brother.
Always. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, share the channel, and remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace. Two fingers.
How was that?